Alright, so in this video, we're going to talk about the periodic table, and I'm going to use a copy of the periodic table that's included in this book, Everything You Need to Ace Science in One Big Fat Notebook. So, what the periodic table looks like in here, I should tell you that in this video, I'm just going to talk about the periodic table, and there's a PowerPoint posted in the classroom that goes along with this. So I really like this periodic table because it's all pre-colored for you. So one thing that you're going to have to do is take your copy that I'm going to give you and color it in. So the periodic table is arranged in two ways. So you can see here at the top in yellow, it's a period. So I think of this like when I read a book, a sentence goes across the page and sentences end in periods. So periods go across. Then here, up and down, is a group or a family. So everything that's arranged, except here's the exception, everything that's arranged here in this yellow, this group or family, has similar characteristics to each other. Okay, so they react very similarly. And we're going to work with lithium, sodium, and potassium to show you how similar their characteristics are. So this is what you need to know about the periodic table going forward. All right. First off, this is very important. This is like your legend on the map. So every single periodic table comes with the chemical symbol on the square. Okay. On the test, you're going to be missing the name for the first 20. So 1, 2, so going across. So from hydrogen to calcium. Okay, at the top of each square in this case, so the whole number is always the atomic number. This is going to be extremely important because the atomic number, basically it determines who you are because it's the number of protons. Okay, the other number in here, the decimal, is the average atomic mass, which we're going to be using later to figure out the number of neutrons in an atom, so you may have to round this number to a whole number. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to look at your periodic table, and we're going to look at the different families. We're not going to look at every family on here. Each color is a different family. We're going to look at the main families. Okay, so first thing is this group here. This, from lithium to francium, are the alkali metals. Okay, the alkali metals are all extremely reactive metals. They're very soft and they have a silvery color. Hydrogen's over here because it only has one proton. Its number is 1. So I should tell you too, the atomic number is super important because it's the number of protons, okay? And that's what determines your identity when you are an element. So we have hydrogen over here. It's not a metal, it's a gas. We already know that. Some of you have seen what happens when hydrogen is lit up. Okay, so right next door, their next closest relatives are the alkali earth metals. These metals are found and mined for in the earth. Okay, and they again are very reactive metals. They're silvery. They form compounds that are insoluble in water, and these ones form compounds that are soluble in water. We're not going to worry too much about these guys in the middle, okay? They're the transition metals. You're going to worry about them in grade 10 and 11, okay? The next important family that we talk about are the metalloids, okay? And that's these guys there, okay? So those are elements that contain characteristics of both metals. So I should also tell you metals are on the left-hand side and non-metals are on the right-hand side. So these guys contain characteristics of both metals and non-metals. Okay, and that's why they're called metalloids. The next group that we really focus on are the halogens. The halogens are a group of gases that you may be familiar with: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, they are very commonly used And they are also, when you get to grade 10, generally exist as diatomic elements. Okay? Then we really care about these other non-metals in here because they're important for us in our everyday lives. The last set that we're going to learn about are the noble gases, okay? And basically what you want to know about these guys is they're extremely stable, they rarely react, and everybody wants to be like them, okay? So that's pretty much what you need to know about the periodic table. You need to know what a period is. You need to know what a group is. You need to know that this atomic number is how they're arranged. So this is number 1, this is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? This number also is the number of protons, and that number identifies you. So you can never, ever, ever, ever move on the periodic table because you can never, ever, ever, ever change the number of protons you have. You can change the number of electrons. We already know that from electricity, and we're going to look at what happens when you change the number of neutrons, but the number of protons can never be changed, and that is how the periodic table is arranged at these numbers here. Okay, and then they're grouped into families based on their similar characteristics. So you're going to follow up with the little PowerPoint that's included, and that's going to be your introduction to the periodic table.